Hey, what's up, people? WestRoadSal here today with another review. Now, if you want to buy any wrestling shows from me, send me a message because I'm selling my wrestling collection. Today, we're reviewing, I just tell you right at the bat, I don't care, Ring of Honor 8th Anniversary Show, which was held in New York City, New York. It was held in the, oh my god, I can't remember the name of the arena. The old ECW arena? Yeah, it was held on February 13th, 2010. We had 8 matches on the card. Let's get started. Now, the main event for the night was Austin Aries versus Tyler Black for the title, as you can see on the picture. So, thus, the show started with a Tyler Black promo saying he's sick of relying on other people. His fate is to be world champion again. The first match on the official card is Brian Kendrick versus Roderick Strong. Now, these are two different styles. Kendrick is more loose and creative, while what I've seen of Roderick Strong in the past, he's more technical and stiff, sort of, if you see his matches. Slow start up to the match, but all of a sudden, both of them go brutal, go nasty, stiff strikes, stiff chops, you know. There's Let's Go Roderick, Let's Go Kendrick hands. It's a good match. It's short. Roderick Strong comes out all of a sudden with a triple combo, a backbreaker, a yokaza kick, and a powerbomb. 3 out of 5. Kendrick's chest is red, raw, and nasty by the end of the match. It's a good match, but it's short. I know for a fact it could have went longer, so that's why I give it a 3 out of 5. The next was a Bravado Brothers versus Kings of Wrestling. There was a promo before the match for the Bravado Brothers, which was short and simple, to the point. You know, it seems like this match it was short. It seems like they just used this match as a build-up for the Kings of Wrestling because they won this match kind of quick. There was innovation in this match, don't get me wrong, but it was quite short, and the Kings of Wrestling, you could tell that they want to win the match. I mean, they had a promo, but you could just tell. There was no offense from the Parado brothers. It was just a spot after spot after spot for the Kings of Wrestling. There was a little bit of offense here and there for the Bravado brothers. I mean, but you could tell. The heels, they were heels, but the crowd loved them over the Bravado brothers, obviously. Double heel kick, mid-air uppercuts, chemistry and combo moves from the Kings of Wrestling all the way. 3.5 out of 5. Now, the next match was not a Ring of Honor match. It was an old school, chaotic, freestyle ECW old school match. It was Erick Stevens and Joey Ryan with Prince Nana versus Necro Butcher and Eddie Kingston with Gypsy Joe. Now, I probably have to look him up because I didn't know who he was. They said Gypsy Joe was 76 years old. I give props to him. He's 76 and he's still out there doing for the fans, you know. Necro Butcher won this match with Eddie Kingston. He literally held a plastic bag over Joey Ryan's, I think it was Joey Ryan's head, and basically a submission win, you know. 2.5 through 3 out of 5. You can tell this was going to be carefree and fun. Like, they used weapons. I remember they used the ring bell. They used the plastic bag because that's how they won the match. They used the chairs. They were mostly outside of the ring for this match. It was that kind of match, you know. It wasn't a technical or anything. It was just a brawl, basically. 2.5 out of 3. 2.5 through 3 out of 5. That's the most hardest thing for me to say. It's unbelievable. The next match was Davey Richards versus El Generico. Now, Davey Richards, I didn't see the shows leading up to this, but he had Shane Hagadorn come out with him, just like the Kings of Wrestling do. So I was a bit surprised at that. It was a good match. There was a couple of botched moves. Not botched. I won't say botched, but there was sloppy moves. You know, stiff, both of them. Big chains into arm bars. I mean, there was a lot of spots, like a stiff kick to the chest by Davey Richards. Obviously, he's all that martial arty, you know. Fierce yokaza kick, you know, from Davey Richards. You know, he's crazy with those strikes. His finisher, which was a Kimura lock, a cross arm breaker. El Generico taps out. He did this about, if I remember correctly, he did this 2-3 times. El Generico got out, but then he finally gave up. And so there was one spot of the match which I have to tell you about. I don't remember if it was Davey Richards or El Generico, but one of them were up on the opposite corner of the ring, and he flew down, and he hit him like it was like Shane McMahon's finisher from way back in the day in WWE, where he goes from one side of the ring to the other side of the ring from the top rope. It wasn't spot on, but it was a nice spot for the match. I give it a 3.5 through 4 out of 5. Davey Richards won the match. El Generico did not win, which I was at this point about. Excuse me. The next match was, well, before that, there was a Briscoe brothers promo for the following matchup. You can tell they were having fun. They were just spitting words out. You know, they weren't scripted. You know, if you've seen them in Ring of Honor, you know they're just having fun out there. You know, they wrestle real well, and WWE's quite interested in them. But you can tell in Ring of Honor, I just hope, but that's for another video. Don't let me go off on a rant. Jay and Mark Briscoe versus Dark City Fight Club. Both big teams. I was talking country there. Shoving at the beginning of the match. You know, they want to get it on. You know. Oh man, what happened to the computer? Computer give up. Okay, back. Okay, I was going nuts there. Felt like it felt like Ring of Honor actually picked a team out of a hat for Jay and Mark Briscoe to fight and win against, because it was that kind of match. You could tell. I mean, there was story to this match. There was like chemistry to this match, but I really don't think they were going to continue the storyline. So it was like they probably built this match for a couple of weeks, but that's about it. A 3 out of 5 for this match. There was a bit of I don't want to call it sloppy work, but not real. They didn't, Dark City Fight Club didn't know at times what the Briscoe brothers were doing. Like, there was a botched. Well, one of the Briscoes knocked one of the members of Dark City Fight Club over the rope, and it took a while for him to go over the rope. So that's what I mean. There was a custom power slam by Dark City Fight Club, which looked pretty nice. That was, well, you know, it just wasn't perfect. So that's why I gave it 3 out of 5. The next match was a 4-corner survival match, pick series match. Oh, that's a long thing to say, even for them, even for the commentators. That was a long thing to say. It was Delirious versus Kenny King versus Steve Corino versus Rasche Brown. I have no idea who Rasche Brown is. I know who Delirious is, I know who King is, I know who Steve Corino is. Now, I've watched wrestling for a long time, like I said, but I don't know who Rasche Brown was, so there you go. Delirious goes for Corino. First thing, Corino gets out of the ring and the runaround ring. A little comedy spot right at the beginning. Corino and King were working together for a very short time, but then Corino went for a pin. Just heels don't work together, you know that. Rasche Brown, big man. He reminded me of Monty Brown in the 2004 year of TNA. That's true. Delirious wins. He does a quick Shadows in Hell on Kenny King for the pin. It was a good match. It was better than Jay and Mark Briscoe's match, obviously. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. They could have went longer. A lot of these matches, they could have went longer, if you ask me. They really could have. The next match, second to last match, was Colt Cabana versus Kevin Steen, which would in a grudge match. Now, this match was one of the much better matches on the card. Colt Cabana sent a letter to Kevin Steen because he wanted Kevin Steen. This was a storyline, obviously. He wanted Kevin Steen to mend all friendship woes with El Generico. Kevin Steen read the letter, and then Colt Cabana came out. That's what started the match. Punch from Steen while Colt Cabana is talking actually starts it. Now, Steen has always been a highlight of mine. Steen's for his shape and size, he wrestles really well. He's a good wrestler, in my opinion. His heelish gets on my nerves sometimes, but he's a great wrestler, in my opinion. What do I have here? Generico comes out during the match, and he stares at Steen and Corino. Which, they're setting up. They were basically setting up Kevin Steen with Steve Corino. This was I guess you want to call it the very beginning of Scum. The very, very beginning. It was Kevin Steen and Steve Corino. Steve Corino was making Kevin Steen heel while Colt Cabana was trying to make Kevin Steen a good guy, but he was leaning more towards Steve Corino. basically, I think they were setting up for a Colt, Cabana, El Generico, Steve Corino, Steen. You know. I didn't write it down, but I want to rate this. If I remember correctly, I was going to give this match a 4 out of 5, as well as the next match, which was the main event, Austin Aries versus Tyler Black for the Ring of Honor World Title, as you can see on the cover. Now they were hyping this match all night long with promos cut between the matches, so they can waste more time. There was a promo before the match. It was good build-up, moves from past matches and interviews. They showed Austin Aries and Tyler Black. They would show Austin Aries doing a Yukaza kick, and then they would show Tyler Black doing the same thing. They would show Austin Aries doing a powerbomb. They showed Tyler Black doing the same thing. It was a really nice comparison, in my opinion. There were 3 judges for this match. I don't know, what was this, American Idol? Give me a break. Kenny King, Roderick Strong, and Jim Cornette. Now, all the judges are biased except Jim Cornette. Kenny King's toward Austin Aries, Roderick Strong's toward Tyler Black. Austin Aries comes out with his old school pink flamingo jacket. Kenny King and Austin Aries are friends. You know that right away because Austin Aries goes to Kenny King, does like you know what they do, the handshake, fist bump, whatever. There's both Austin Aries and Tyler Black chants. Energy, swift moves start the match, so you know it's going to be a good one. There's crazy submissions from Austin Aries. There's crazy top rope moves from Tyler Black. There's a spot where Tyler Black I remember this. Tyler Black jumps from the ring ropes to the inside of the crowd, and he doesn't hit any of the crowd. He only hits Austin Aries, which is really nice. The crowd was a little scared, you could tell, but it worked out really nicely. Death Valley Driver on ring frame. Now, on like the very end of the ring where the apron meets the ring mat, he did the Death Valley Driver, which was a crazy spot if you ask me. I thought he was getting a concussion. I marked out a little bit. You should have seen me. I think it's a 4 out of 5 because it was a bit rushed with the end, if you ask me. Tyler Black, all of a sudden, he gets like a second wind. A surge on Austin Aries. All sorts of punts, all sorts of strikes, signature moves and finishers. 1, 2, 3, done. 4 out of 5. Now, they're at the end, before everybody comes out to celebrate with Austin Aries, they were teasing Tyler Black versus Roderick Strong. It somehow, there was a turn in this match as well. So, I want to see that, but I would have to look up the show. This was in February 2010, so March, I would have to look it up. When he won, it was like the confetti came from the rafters, wrestlers came out. It was a good match. I thought the end was rushed, so I gave it a 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. I know you people like Ring of Honor reviews, because I see the last one's going up in views. So, rate, comment, subscribe like I said. Favorite this video if you want. Thumbs up all the way. Let's go. Thanks for watching. Peace. See ya.